Jacob Soboroff, you're watching HuffPost Live. YouTube has changed the way that we all view the world. Every month, the website has over 800 million visits from people looking for everything from news and politics to music to comedy to cat videos to even HuffPost Live. Please Subscribe is a new film that gives us a look at what makes a popular YouTuber, and Dan Dobi is the man behind the film, a successful music video director. His YouTube channel has over 35,000 subscribers, and he's here today to give us the secret to success and tell us about the film. The film's called Please Subscribe. Dan Dobi's here in studio. Welcome to HuffPost Live.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
All right.
So, how did you get into this world of YouTubers, YouTubing, subscribing, et cetera, et cetera?
As a filmmaker, I just think that YouTube is just a platform where you can just put out pretty much anything, and that's kind of one of the mediums that I chose to put some of my music video work and other creative work that I was doing at the time. And eventually it just kind of manifested itself into me kind of jumping in headfirst, just putting out shows and finding that at first it wasn't a monetizable thing for me. I wasn't making money with it. It was just a fun thing, and I enjoyed reading the comments and hearing friends being like, oh, I saw that show. And eventually it became more of like, you know, I had like a lot of music videos on TV at that time, but it became more like people were saying, oh, I saw your YouTube video. And I'm like, well, did you see my music video on MTV? They're like, no, I didn't see that. I just saw your YouTube video. So I saw this progression of people just going to the internet for content rather than like TV.
So let's talk about some of the people that you've done music videos with. Tell us a couple of the names.
For some reason, I got heavily involved in the hip hop world. I did a lot of stuff with like Diddy and Day 26 and Busta Rhymes and Little Kim.
Soulja Boy, right?
Soulja Boy, who's a fantastic person to work with.
You did this music video thing, and then you decided to get into YouTube. I mean, you decided to start putting stuff on YouTube. When did you discover that this could sort of become a bit of a business for you?
I would say I kind of discovered it in 2009. One of my best friends, Andrew Santino, and myself, we created this show called Dunkin' Rocks. And eventually it just caught on, and then, you know, it started getting this attention, and a company called Machinima, who's also huge in the YouTube space, reached out to us, and they're like, can we put your episodes up on our channel? Can we figure out a way to work together? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they're like, we'll pay you this. I'm like, oh, there's money involved now? That's great. So all of a sudden, I guess this overnight, for me, it was 2009 when I kind of discovered that you can kind of be making money off of it.
Well, not only can you make money like you were, basically people paying you for content and putting it on their channel, but like if you have your own channel, you can monetize that when you have a lot of views based off the ad revenue. How much money do you think people are, I mean, first of all, how many people are making good money off of YouTube right now?
I would say hundreds, but what is good money? That's a kind of relative term.
How many people are making a living off of YouTube?
Oh, hundreds, I'd say. If not thousands.
How? Do you mind if I ask? I mean, have you made a good amount of money off of YouTube?
No, not me. No. I'm solely in it just for like the self-expression. It's not a career for me. It's something that I fell into, I enjoyed, but it wasn't something that I kind of saw that is going to be like a career path for me.
So, but let's talk about sort of the world of YouTube. For people that don't know, we should start with the basics. Definitions. What's a YouTuber?
Hey, watch my movie. It's someone. I mean, the definition. I mean, anyone who uploads YouTube or talks to the camera or has a show could be considered a YouTuber, I would say. But I guess the diehard people, they're like, oh, I'm a YouTuber, or people that make consistent content that don't have like a 9-to-5. That they put the camera on themselves, they make a show about it, they post it, and that's like pretty much their life. So I would say that is what a YouTuber, the crunch down definition is.
And when we saw the clip, we saw somebody who was, I guess, would be a traditional, maybe an OG kind of YouTuber, like, here's some stuff I have in my house, doing a little shtick from your own camera. But as you said in the clip, we're sort of progressing towards more and more polished content, more and more sort of original programming, almost like you would see on television, right? Maybe lower production value?
Absolutely. I think the game is now changing. It has changed. Before it used to be just from an iSight camera or like a flip video or your iPhone, but now people are really using high-end equipment between DSLRs, and I know that some people, like Mr. Guitar Man, who's in the film, is shooting on Red Epics, which is a huge production value right there. Yeah.
Why did you decide that you wanted to make this film? I mean, is it because you got a sort of a look into that this could be a full-on lifestyle for some people?
I got into it because whenever I was putting out YouTube videos and I was talking to someone who had no idea what that was about, they would just say, hey, what is this? I kind of see people doing it, but what is it? And I would explain to them, and they'd have a million questions. So I kind of want to just document 8 specific YouTubers and just talk to them and see what their lives are like, and see like that it's not just you put the camera on yourself and you upload it. It's a lot of in between, and it's like a lifestyle.
Are they attaining celebrity, these people?
Yeah, absolutely.
So people recognize them on the street?
Oh, yeah, big time. It might not be as common as say like a Jennifer Aniston or something.
Right.
But I know that like Jenna Marbles probably can't walk out her door without being stormed by people.
Who else? What are some other big names?
Daily Grace, who's in the film too. Joe Penna, the Harley from Epic Mealtime.
Yep.
Mike Falzone, I would say, is probably a huge one.
Yeah, and these, I mean, they're not names that people, I mean, I'm curious if people in the community that are watching now would recognize any of these names. It's not names that, like you said, maybe an ordinary guy on the street would recognize, but people that sit at home, people that go on YouTube to watch these shows, they're regulars, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're very loyal in the fan base of YouTube because I think it's like, it's more tangible. You can comment, you can tweet at them.
Well, it's like HuffPost Live. We talk to the community, and the community, frankly, shapes programming that we do. You see that on YouTube as well?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I would agree.
This is a film that you used Kickstarter, right, to fund?
Yes, and then a good amount of my own money as well. But I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you
No, I was just going to ask, what was that process like?
Oh, it was it was a full-time job for a minute. Like I thought I was going to put it up, and at that time, like I don't post like daily videos, or I don't post even weekly videos. Whenever I want to do it, I'll put something out there, whether it's me talking or posting a video about a prank call I just did, or just talking about the fact that I just got back surgery and just trying to like show people what that life is like, or what that's like. I'm sorry, what was the question?
So just a little bit more about the Kickstarter campaign.
Oh, the Kickstarter, yeah. So I put it up, and I actually needed like a hand from a few different people. I asked, hey, can you tweet this out? Can you help me out? And it wasn't until like the last day, like 3 hours before the timer was going off, that a few people just stepped up and started throwing money at it and stuff.
And so, but this isn't a film. I mean, this is a film that you can actually get online if you want to watch it online, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, why did you decide to go that route? I mean, I guess it's sort of the genre of the stuff you're talking about. Is that why? I mean, you decided not to go the route of putting it on a big screen somewhere, right?
Well, we actually went to theaters on February 5th in 250 theaters in America just for one night only.
Okay.
But I mean, the core demographic of this film are people who watch content online. They're on their laptops, tablets, phones, computers. And I thought that this is the way that people kind of want to consume content. They don't want to go out to what is a Blockbuster anymore, you know? So I just wanted to make it as easy as possible for people to download it and consume it in any way they wanted to.
Let me introduce some people in our Google Hangout that I know are both in the film and people that are fans of the film. YouTube sensation Craig Benzine, a.k.a. Wheezy Waiter, who appears in Please Subscribe, is here. He's joining us from Chicago. Hey, thanks for being on. And Maya Washington is a blogger at Shameless Maya in New York. Welcome to both of you. Looks like Maya might not be in the Hangout quite yet, but let's start, Craig, with you. Tell us a little bit about Wheezy Waiter.
Wheezy Waiter is what I do. Well, for a while it was 5 days a week, but now it's like 2 or 3 days a week, right here in my apartment. I have clones of myself, and I actually just today I put up a video of me walking around Chicago and doing a rap song based on everything that I see. I just try to make people laugh and make a fool out of myself at the same time.
How did you guys get linked up?
I met Craig. What's up, Craig, by the way? Hey, how are you?
Hello.
Craig is a good friend of mine. I met him at the first VidCon, and at the time he was
What's VidCon?
Oh, VidCon is just a convention for video makers for like the YouTube online community space.
Okay.
And I remember I knew of Craig, and I had a moment where he was like alone, and I just took my iPad. I'm like, hey, Craig, big fan here. Look at this. And I was like, this is what I do. And I felt like such a fangirl at the time. But yeah, after that, I guess he watched it. He liked it. I believe he went to his hotel room later that night and watched a couple episodes, and just I've been a fan since, and we've become friends. And whenever he comes out to LA, he always crashes on the couch and whatever.
Craig, tell me a little bit about what your tips would be for people that want to start their own YouTube channel, that want to become a YouTube star in their own right.
Well, that's just it. They would have to do something in their own right. And I think there are a lot of people who really enjoy, I think, sort of following trends and doing sort of, like the Harlem Shake thing that happened recently on YouTube. But I think you need to find your own voice somehow, even though there's millions of voices out there now, and be consistent. You have to do it a lot. Be prepared to work really, really hard. I did when my audience really started to take off was when I did a video every weekday for a whole year, and you can't expect it to be easy, I guess.
We have a lot of people in our comments right now, Craig, that are fans of yours, and they're just giving you a shout out. But I do want to show a video comment that's also come through, and let's quickly take a look at that. Hang on one second, everybody. Let's take a look.
Hi, Dan. I really enjoyed the film, and I'm just curious, what is next on your project list? And do you think you will ever play more of an on-screen or at least narrative role in the future?
And that's from Cookie Cupcakes.
I know her. She's lovely. Thank you for the question. I mean, I'm going to use YouTube for just, just having a voice and kind of letting people know what I'm doing. I think it's very, 10 years ago, this wasn't an option, and to kind of know what someone was doing, I don't know what you would do. What was it, like your MySpace or Friendster at that point? I'll probably just continue talking to the camera and making an idiot of myself, and just, just telling people what I'm doing. And my channel is kind of segued into like, that's just what I'm doing. I'm not making jokes or anything. I'm just being like, hey, I'm making a movie and it's called Please Subscribe, or, oh, I'm getting back surgery, this is what's going on. It's kind of a good way to kind of communicate with like, my family, or my extended family, like cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff. And
you ever find, my wife criticizes me for saying, not criticizes, but it's politely, constructive criticism about sometimes there's oversharing online. You ever feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's definitely oversharing, and I think that, with people with daily vlogs and stuff, I respect it because it does take a lot of work, but at the same time, it's like, do you really care about what someone's eating, So when I share, it's kind of like a tidbit. It's not everything. It's not full exposure. And I think some people will actually argue with that with me just because I just posted a video of my open back surgery like a week ago. But no, I mean,
how are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing fantastic. It's like I'm like 18 again, which is great. It's like I didn't feel this way before. I was in chronic pain the whole time. Yeah. No.
Let's get Maya in here. Maya, you're there and you have a friend there with you. Who's that?
This is Jackie. She has an Instagram account too.
All right. Hey, Jackie. So Maya, you got a question for Dan? Or a comment?
I guess what's yours? Or I'm actually intrigued by this documentary. I want to watch it. But what advice do you have to gaining a wider audience on YouTube?
A good amount of people ask me that question, and I'm kind of maybe not the I don't have like that many subscribers. I only have 35,000.
Oh, just like, 35,000.
No, in the grand scheme of things, I'm like this big. Trust me, I'm not big. I always go by the 3 C's: be creative, be current, and be, well, I'm gonna sound like an ass if I don't remember the last one. Consistent.
We got
consistent.
We got Rick Perry here.
Yeah, but just be creative.
What about comedy? Another additional C.
I was gonna say you could do comedy, but not every kind of viral video has to do with like comedy. But be creative. Do something unique. Hannah Hart blew up her show by just doing something that no one else has done before. She has a drunk cooking channel. Be consistent. Have a video every week. I don't follow by that rule because I have other things going on, and I'm not like a full-time YouTuber. And then be current. Is that the third C that I said? Be current.
I think so.
Yeah, just know what your audience is doing, and kind of don't play to them, but play to what you want to do, but still kind of try to remain current in what's going on right now.
Obviously, live is changing the game a little bit. YouTube has done some live content. Obviously, we're live 12 hours a day on HuffPost Live. Our YouTube channel is clips from, by the way, youtube.com/HuffPostLive is our YouTube channel. It's clips from our live broadcast. How is live changing the YouTube game, do you think?
It's on its way to changing it right now. It's not like officially there. Mm-hmm. I did a live kind of pre-WrestleMania podcast with my buddy the other day, and it was my first time like going on a live YouTube channel. I was really interested. I just want to wait until it's like there and it's perfect, but there does seem like there's some bugs with it and there's some delay. So it is definitely going to be like the future of how people do live broadcasting, and I think it's definitely super interesting.
Maya, I want to go back to you because Aggie Fredette, who's watching us live right now in the comments, says, that is one fly golden phone. What's the deal with that phone?
I can't find my headphones. I don't know where they are.
It's a nice phone.
Thank you.
Craig, let me get you back in here because so you obviously have a big time, you have a big time fan base. They're all in the comments, as I've said. Here's one again from Aggie who just commented, you're awesome. You're an inspiration by how much effort you put into your amazing work. Is that fair to say? Is it a lot of effort? Because a lot of people would say, just playing devil's advocate, you're making YouTube videos. You're not really, you're not making feature films here.
Well, I can't speak for everyone who makes YouTube videos, but I spend probably 4 to 8 hours every day
Wow.
on YouTube videos. I don't. It's not me just sitting here talking for 10 minutes and then editing it down. It's me writing up a story or some really crazy effect that takes me hours to edit. It's definitely a full-time job.
Craig, are you making good money on off of YouTube?
I'm making more than I've ever made on anything else.
You want to let us in? I mean, I know this is sort of a personal question, but how much?
Not gonna do it.
I'm not going to say how much, but I will say it's a good living. 6
figures?
I don't want to say.
All right.
Here's the golden rule with YouTubers: you never ask them what they're making.
Why?
I mean, it's the same thing with. Could you answer how much are you making right now?
Absolutely not.
There you go. It's kind of like the same thing. Going back to real quick about like the hard work and stuff with Craig. If you watch the film, you see Craig, and he hustles the entire time. And like, I still to this day don't know how he does a show 3 times a week, let alone 5 times a week. Between that and like daily vlogging and his gaming channel, I mean, it's a full-time thing, and like, it's a really good way of when you watch the film to see how like what he's doing and like all the things you have to worry about.
Maya, what kind of content do you put on YouTube?
Actually, my channel is all about shameless self-promotion. It was a social media experiment I started a year ago on the 24th. Yeah, so I did it because I had social media anxiety, and I just saw a lot of opportunities for other people, and I said, what would happen if I put myself out there? So my challenge is coming to an end this month, and so far it's been pretty amazing.
And where are you now in your journey? You said you're getting to the end of it, but I mean, is this something you want to continue?
I definitely do want to continue. I didn't realize I would have viewers engaging with me. I'm at like 66,000 subscribers, and my content is fairly much like beauty, but it's all about like just promoting yourself. So if you're an artist, just putting yourself out there, because the problem with a lot of people is they just don't want to put themselves out there. So how are you going to be discovered? How are you going to like do you if you're not putting it out there? So YouTube has enabled me to like meet a bunch of people. I've been able to travel because of it. I went to London. I went to Los Angeles. Now I'm going to go to Trinidad, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty amazing to me. She's got the right attitude, it sounds like.
Absolutely. I'm actually a fan now. I watched her in the back. I watched the Nicki Minaj video and then the lighting tutorial, and I thought it was really interesting. So don't quit. Keep going. You're on the right track for sure. You're doing better than me right now, so.
Okay.
I have another comment. This one's from Mr. Finch, who's watching live. Be concise. The public's attention span is about 2 minutes. Long videos don't normally go viral. So Mr. Finch is riffing off of what you were saying. Craig, have you had any success with longer videos on YouTube?
For me, I think it's a little bit different. I just have a devoted fan base that I've built up for a long time.
So they'll come and stay for whatever you put out there.
Usually, I just put up like a 6-minute, probably one of my longest ever, which was like 6.5, 7 minutes long, and it seems like the same amount of people watching that one as any. But I think when you're starting out, I think yes, it is important to keep it concise when people aren't familiar with you.
Craig and Maya, I want to say thanks to you guys for joining in the Google Hangout. And before I wrap up with Dan, I just want to say again, we appreciate you being here, and certainly we'll keep following both of you. So thanks a lot.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Dan, we got another comment. This one's from Six Bubbles, who says, I saw Please Subscribe, and I love it. I want to show it to my family so they understand why I'm trying so hard to put content up on my little channel and get more involved in the community. I love the YouTube community. Here at HuffPost Live, everybody that watches, they're part of our community as well, and it really is a strong family. Clearly, YouTube is the same way. You know, how do you, does it manifest itself offline? I mean, Maya was just saying she's going places, doing things because of YouTube, but does the YouTube community get together, offline?
Yeah, absolutely. There's 2 major YouTube kind of gatherings right now. It's VidCon, that happens in July, I believe, in California, and then there's Playlist Live that happens in Orlando, Florida, and it happened like March 23rd, I think, was the last Playlist Live, so it was fairly recent, a couple weeks ago, and it was the best time ever. It's like getting together and meeting other, like your friends who are in the YouTube community and actually having a face-to-face, and then meeting like the fans. it's a really magical experience. So those kind of conventions and get-togethers are really awesome. It just kind of gives you like a, what's the word I'm looking for? It revives your kind of like passion for why you do this in the first place.
And just finally, again, if people want to see the film, it's in the resource wheel, so you guys can check it out directly below the video, but where else can they go?
You can go to chill.com/please subscribe.
There you go, chill.com/please subscribe. You heard it from Dan Dobi. Appreciate you coming on HuffPost Live, man. And again, the film is Please Subscribe. Everybody go check it out. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.